kind of trouble can't he get himself into in San Francisco?
I don't know. It's according to what kind of gals he's meeting. I'll get it. Peace, engine.
Peace, pale face.
Hey, Dave, come on in, buddy. Found a redskin wrangler. How many of our cayuses did you lose today?
Davey, how you doing?
Fine.
How about some coffee?
Thank you.
I'll get you a cup.
Evening, Miss Cartwright.
Well, Davey.
Bill Corby said you wanted to see me.
Yeah. Davey, I want you to pick out 2 of the best ponies you've been breaking for me and bring them in tomorrow. I need them for a gift.
Who they for? I mean, you want the best in the string?
The very best, the best you've got. I want them for Chief Lone Spear. You know him.
I remember him.
The ranchers and Lone Spear signing that treaty tomorrow, and...
It's a waste of time. You can't trust him.
Davey, the sacred ground is being returned to the Ute tribe. Everybody's guaranteed not to trespass on it. It means a great deal to them.
Doesn't mean a thing to me. Hoss, maybe you better come by my place tomorrow and pick out them horses yourself. Good night.
The Treaty of the White Man will be signed tomorrow. The sacred ground will be our sacred ground once more. I, Lone Spear, chief of the Utes, will make my mark.
The white man will take the water from our land.
He will take only a small part of it. And in trade, he will give us back the land of our ancestors.
I do not trust them.
The white man trusts the Ute. He has promised never again to set foot on the sacred ground.
And if the white man breaks his word?
We must kill.
Out 2 good ponies?
Well, I think so, Paul. Ask old Dave what he thinks.
Best in the string.
Well, good. I sure hope Lone Spear will be pleased. I don't want any hitch in the signing of this treaty. That sacred ground means a lot to the Utes, and the water rights sure mean a lot to the settlers in the valley.
So the settlers can use that water without a treaty?
Well, not without a fight.
It's a pretty short fight. Utes wouldn't last long.
You can say you want about the Utes. They're still your people.
My people, are they? Mr. Cartwright hadn't have found me. Where my people left me, I would have been killed that day. I was only 5 years old, but I remember it. I always will. My people. You're my people. Only ones I've got. Except for Hoss here, a guy couldn't ask for better.
we better get going.
Mr. Cartwright, do you mind if I come along?
Sure. Sure.
Good idea. Dave, you and me ain't been in town together in months. Besides, you did such a bad job on them broncs, we might need some help.
I swear, Hoss, about the only thing you don't need help on is eating.
Oh, you don't remember the time you cooked out there on that hunting trip, right?
Almost noon.
Don't worry. He'll be here.
I can't say that I enjoy being kept waiting by an Indian.
Now, he said he'd be here at noon. Judge Nelson, it must be noon. Here he comes. Chief Lone Spear.
Ben Cartwright.
Welcome, my friend.
We are here to speak as men, and my voice shall come from the heart and from my people. We shall see then if we are friends.
This is Judge Nelson. He'll witness the formal signing of the treaty. Of course, you know all the ranchers present. The treaty with Chief Lone Spear and his people will be a thing of trust and honor.
I want Lone Spear to know that I consider it great privilege to be here on this solemn occasion.
Let us enter the lodge and speak. Bright Moon, you wait for me here.
Impressive old gentleman, ain't he?
Yeah, he sure is.
How about some cold drink? I could use it.
Sounds good.
Dave, you want something to drink?
Yeah, sure, why not? It's gonna take these savages quite a while to powwow.
It's a disgrace, that's what it is. Meeting with them, bargaining with them. The only way you can bargain with an Indian is from behind a rifle.
What do you have, Davy?
You have beer, I'll have sarsaparilla.
No, sarsarilla's good for me.
Fine. Bartender, 3 sarsaparillas.
Oh, bartender. You serve Indians in a white man's saloon? These Cartwrights, they don't care who they bring into a white man's saloon. You know, I bet you they'd even bring in hogs if they had any hogs.
Wouldn't smell much worse if it did. Anything I can't stand is the smell of a stinking engine.
Refill, Frank.
Just saving you the trouble, Frank. Wouldn't want a white man drinking out of that glass. Not after the likes of him.
Just what seems to be you two fellers' big problem, anyhow? Let me straighten you two fellers out on something. There's just an outside chance that we two might be even more uncivilized than our Indian friend. Now, have you got anything to say to us?
Nothing.
Good. Bartender, there's another sarsaparilla.
Let him go. Give him a chance to cool off. Miss, when I said savages, I'm sorry.
Your eyes, they show great hurt. It is I who am sorry for you.
There's no need. I have a job, a life. I live like a white man. There's much food to eat, and I have a house to live in.
You know what's wrong with this Injun?
What?
He thinks he's a white man.
Well, maybe we ought to teach him some white man manners.
I will say goodbye now.
How about saying goodbye to us, Injun? Real nice.
We're waiting, Injun.
Like I said, Judd, maybe we should teach him some manners.
Now, how about you, honey? Are you gonna be nice?
Look, leave her be.
Out of here, Injun.
Get away from her.
Now, wait a minute, honey. You just stay here. Take it easy, honey.
Are you hurt?
Oh, no.
I'll get me that Indian. I'll see him dead if I have to follow him from now on.
You all right, David?
Yes, thank you.
Who is this white man? What is he doing?
Just hold on. I know how
I
it
do
looks.
not speak to you, but to her. Who is he?
This man tried to protect me, and you were wrong. He is not a white man. He is an Indian like us.
Like us? Look at him. You call him Indian? He is neither Indian nor white. He is the hunting ground without buffalo. He is the land after the fire, when even the roots are burned. Indian, he is not even a white man.
David! David! There! White Wolf! Stop that! Joseph, Hoss, what's the meaning of this?
Well, Paul, I can speak for myself. And I speak to you, Lone Spear.
Who is this man?
He is not a man. He is a half-breed. I am not a half-breed. I'm an Indian. You hear me? An Indian. A Ute. Like you.
Well, you're all ready to go, Paul. brother. You behave yourself here. Just because you're going to the state capitol don't mean you can kick them heels up too high, you know.
Oh, don't worry, Hoss. I won't.
Boss, I'd like you to do me a favor.
Yeah, Bo.
I've told Lone Spear that the treaty's in effect as of right now. Except, of course, I got to get the paper signed by the governor, and I'm not sure that Lone Spear quite believes it, so I'd like you to ride over there today and again tomorrow and sort of quiet any doubts that Lone Spear might have.
Don't worry about a thing, Paul. I'll keep everything calm and quiet.
All right. God.
Bright Moon. I have been waiting for you. You were the last of the women to come.
If I had known you were here, I would have been the first.
I had so many things I wanted to tell you. Now I've forgotten them all.
You need not say anything.
Yes, I must. I came here just to see you, and now...
You said you are an Indian. A Ute. Is this true?
Yes, it is.
But you live as a white man.
I would like to tell you why. And I will someday.
You need not tell me at all.
Here, let me.
The last thing my pa said was that sacred ground was yours and no white man was to set foot on it from this day forward.
The sacred ground is dear to my people.
And the water is dear to the ranchers. And I trust that you will guarantee them that water.
Hoss Cartwright speaks well, and from the heart. But he speaks of guarantees. What guarantee is there that as more white men come, they will not take back the land of the sacred ground?
I know that in the past, the white man has smoked the pipe many times in sealing treaties. And he's often broken them. But this treaty is going to be signed by the governor of the state, and the ranchers have already signed it. And we Cartwrights will stand behind every word of it, and you can depend on that.
The word of a Cartwright is one that I trust.
Give me the pipe.
Lone Spear.
Do as I say.
There are few of your race with whom I would smoke.
Wait. A brave does not carry water, and my people should not see it.
Well, I am your people.
But you've been too long away. Our customs are not as the white man's. And my heart fears for you. White Wolf will...
He doesn't worry me.
But it has long been understood that White Wolf and I would plant side by side 2 reeds and live in one teepee.
This is Bright Moon's wish?
It is Bright Moon's fear.
What is the meaning of this?
This white man's dog would take the woman promised to me.
Is this true, my daughter?
It is true.
While one white man smokes the pipe, another brings dishonor to my daughter.
I am not a white man. My skin is the color of yours.
You have lived as a white man. You are
I am what I am because Lone Spear's a coward.
begging dog. Before you die, or I do, I allow you to explain.
Davy, you apologize to the chief right now.
Lone Spear spoke of honor. I say his mouth fouls the word. Is it honor to leave a child on the field of battle? To leave him to the white man's revenge? Would Lone Spear call this honor?
He would not, and he is listening.
Then listen well. For it was you who did this. You ran before the white man's guns at the Battle of Red Fork, leaving behind my mother and father dead, and a child, me, to whatever mercy the white man chose to show me. Had not Ben Cartwright found me. No, I did not choose to be what I am. You made me what I am, and now you turn from me.
Your knife. I will speak. And if my words do not satisfy, I ask you to take my life. The Battle of Red Fork was one where we fought with honor. When the sun rose, there were over 200 of my people ready to die for what they believed. When the sun set, there were only a few, like scattered grains of corn to greet the night. No longer an army, disorganized, scattered, defeated. And you were left behind. I can only say this. I would have given my life to take you with us. If I had known you were there. If you do not believe this, do now what you must do.
Perhaps it is I who should offer my life to you instead of...
Instead of what?
Of asking that I be reunited with my people. And that I might speak with your daughter, Bright Moon, of marriage. Before that day comes, you will lie with your ancestors!
Silence, White Wolf. It is not your place to speak. Perhaps it is not even mine. But as chief, I do. If it is your wish, you may become one of us. As for Bright Moon, there must be time. But in the end, she alone will decide. Come.
Lone Spear, I will return to my tribe to begin a new life. I have spoken.
Lone Spear has heard.
The whole pounder. Hey, Davy, what is all this?
I just wanted you to remember this night. The night I became an Indian again.
Yeah, I ain't likely to forget it.
I came to say goodbye, Hoss.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm quitting my job. All the stock is fed and watered. They'll be all right till you find another man to take my place. Tell Joe and Mr. Cartwright goodbye for me.
You're really serious about all this, ain't you?
Yes, I am.
I reckon you got your eye on that little gal, huh?
She's gonna be my wife.
She's pretty. Real pretty.
Yes, she is.
Hope everything works out for you.
It will. It will.
Dave. Peace.
Peace.
There they are.
What are they up to?
Some kind of Indian mumbo jumbo.
I don't know very much about this promise to marry ceremony. All I remember is what I saw when I was a very small boy.
You saw? A small boy is not supposed to see.
Well, it was dark. I didn't see very much.
For shame.
It don't matter what they're doing. They get a better shot at that Indian.
Hold it.
I will guard you with all my strength in all the years to come.
And I will serve you well in all the years to come.
Will you die fighting or begging for your life?
I do not want to fight you.
Have you lived so long with the white man that you have forgotten our customs?
It is wrong to kill.
It is wrong to take the woman meant to be another man's wife. You will fight for her.
If I must. No, I will not kill you. We are both Utes. We can become friends.
You have won. Bright Moon is yours. Go.
Give me that knife. Now let's see that Davy talk himself out of this.
According to our laws and customs, it was your right to kill White Wolf.
I could not kill him. Alive, he will someday be a friend.
You speak with wisdom.
Lone Spear, I fought for Bright Moon.
Our custom gives you the right to her. Does she feel as you do?
I could not be more happy, my father.
We are happy, too, that our sacred ground belongs again to the Utes. So that your life together may begin there, as it rightfully should. Go now.
What can I do for you?
Hoss, I got a little problem.
What kind of problem?
Murder. These two men say they saw Davy kill an Injun by the name of White Wolf. Threw a knife on his back and run off.
I don't believe that.
They brought in the body with a knife still sticking in it, no other wound.
He was probably fighting over that young squaw.
Hoss, I gotta ask Davy some questions. Where is he?
He's gone over to live with the Utes.
Well, I guess I'll just have to ride in there and get him.
Hold up a minute, Sheriff. Let me get my horse. I'll ride with you. So you see, Chief, the sheriff here wants to take Davy into Virginia City.
The man you know as Davy is a Ute of this tribe.
Yes, sir, I know, but you see, we're up against the law now, Chief, and he just wants to take him in for questioning, that's all.
He did not kill White Wolf.
Did you see the fight?
No, but my daughter, Bright Moon, was there and told me how it was.
Well, two witnesses here say they saw Davy throw a knife in White Wolf's back.
Do you say she lies?
I don't say anybody lies. Not yet. What I am saying is I'm going to take that boy in for trial.
He is a Ute. You cannot have him.
Don't be telling me what I can do and what I can't. You're talking to the law.
Now, wait a minute, fellas, wait a minute. There's got to be some way to straighten this thing out.
The boy and Bright Moon are beyond your reach. They are on sacred ground, Ute ground, forbidden to all white men.
That's right. The governor's already signed that treaty by now, and if you go in there, you're going to be starting trouble, and I mean shooting trouble.
It is sacred ground.
Boss, a crime's been committed. Now, sacred ground or no sacred ground, I gotta have the boy.
Yeah, wait a minute. Sheriff, what would happen if I went in there alone and got him? I mean, that is, if the chief would permit me. I'll just go to the boundary.
You'll bring him in?
Yeah, I'll bring him in if you promise to stay right here and wait for me.
All right. Make it quick.
talk to you.
What do you want?
White Wolf is dead, and they think you killed him.
Come, enter, we will talk.
That law work pays pretty good, don't it?
Not too bad. You seem like a nice fellow. Be a pity to see you lose that badge. What makes you think I'm going to lose it?
One thing you always hear about them Cartwrights is that they're mighty good to their friends.
Yeah. Davy's been on their payroll a long time.
I ain't saying Hoss would break the law, but on the other hand, he ain't above helping an old friend get away.
Even if that friend happens to be a knife-throwing, backstabbing murderer.
You let them two Utes get a head start on you, and you ain't ever gonna get near enough to spot their dust.
Come on.
Deputy told the chief that they found an Indian knife in White Wolf's back and that he had to bring you in.
White Wolf was alive when we left him.
But this deputy sheriff's got a couple of witnesses that claim they saw you throw the knife. It was that Judd and Skinner.
Those two.
Lies. Every word lies.
Hell. Well, look, Davy, all you got to do is ride in with me and tell Judge Nelson how it happened, and then it'll all be over and done with.
No, Hoss, it won't. The word of two Indians will not stand up against the word of two white men. They'll hang me.
I'm sure you promised me you'd stay back there and count.
I'm sorry, Hoss. I gotta have that boy.
This is Ute ground. It's sacred ground. Don't you understand that?
Hoss, I'm gonna do my duty.
I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna start a war. That's what you're gonna do.
All right, so I start a war.
I think you've already made enough foolish mistakes, Sheriff. Put that gun away. One false move, and we're all dead men.
Four white men on Ute ground. Sacred ground.
I'm just trying to do my duty, Chief. Trying to bring a murderer into trial.
Who do you call murderer?
Davy there.
And you would have a trial.
In Virginia City.
On Ute ground, we have Ute trial. Here and now. Did you throw a knife into White Wolf's back?
No, I did not.
My daughter, were you with him when he fought White Wolf?
Yes, my father, I was.
And what he has just said, is this true?
It is true.
These two say they saw the knife thrown.
That's right.
I say you both lie.
No, sir, it's the truth.
You bet your life.
We will see. Then we'll have trial. Which of you fights for the white man to prove the boy lies?
Wait a minute, Chief. The knife fight isn't gonna prove anything. Besides, you're only starting another murder.
In your courts, some men put their hands on a book and lie. In a Ute trial, some men feel the knife's kiss of death at the throat and still lie. Some men, but very few. Which of you fights? I choose you.
Or stop this. You can stop it.
Our land, Horse Cartwright. Your father signed the treaty giving it back to us. Ute land, Ute law. Unless the word of your father is worthless.
Ute land, Ute law.
You. Fight! Now we will see who lies. Fight.
Did I lie? No. Did you kill White Wolf? No, it wasn't me. Then who? Judd hates every redskin he ever saw. Hates you more than any. When he saw a chance to put a knife in White Wolf.
Let him up, Davy. We all know the truth now. Come on, you two. We got some talking to do back in town.
Now, Dave, just because you've gone back to your people don't mean you can't come back to the Ponderosa for a visit. You come see us, you hear?
I will.
And bring your wife.
Come in, Posley, and sit down.
Did I do anything wrong, Warden?
Sit down. I've got a wire here from Placerville. They've arrested a man for robbery and murder.
Oh, what's that got to do with me, sir?
He also admitted to holding up the Virginia City Bank a year and a half ago. It'll be a few days before the legal work is straightened out, but that means that the sentence against you will be reversed. You'll be a free man. I don't pretend to know how you feel, Posley. Happy to spend a year and a half in a cell for something that you didn't do. All that I can say is that we're sorry. The law is sorry that we made a mistake. But thank heavens we found out that it was a mistake.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I think I'll go back to my cell.
Posley?
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you, Warden.
All right. That was a long day.
Well, Candy, you just wait a few years. They get longer. Come on, let's get some to eat.
Well, that sounds great.
Yeah, pretty good cowboy. I haven't seen a man set a better saddle.
Thanks.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Didn't expect to see you back so soon. Get everything finished up in town?
Horse is finishing up, huh? I thought you might want to see this. It's a wire that was sent to Sheriff Coffey.
Oh, yeah? John Postley.
Postley? What about him?
He's been released from prison. A man in Placerville confessed to the robbery.
Oh, no.
Year and a half.
Saw him come out of the alley that night. You had to tell the jury that. It's not your fault they found him guilty.
It's not a question of whose fault it is, Joe. It happened.
There weren't any other suspects. Like you didn't bring in the verdict, the jury did.
Can you imagine how he must have felt? All that time in prison, knowing he was innocent.
Oh, it could have been worse. It could have been the rest of his life. Oh, he's a lucky man. I imagine he's feeling pretty good right now.
Howdy, Ben.
John?
It's been a long time.
Come in. We heard the news about a month ago. Don't know what to say.
Don't say nothing. What's done is done. It ain't nobody's fault.
Thank you, John.
For what?
Oh, for making it easy for me.
I told you it wasn't nobody's fault, didn't it?
Come on, sit down. Come on, let's have a drink, huh? Come on.
No, I don't want to drink, thank you, Ben. No, I'm sorry I didn't get by earlier. I meant to. I wanted to come by and tell you there was no hard feelings, but I got busy up at the diggings this past month, and I didn't get a chance.
You doing some mining?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, I thought that farming was your stock.
Well, it was, but I lost that little piece of land I had.
Well, look, there's plenty of good farming land right here in the Ponderosa.
Oh, Ben, no. I reckon I'll stick to mining for a while.
Any luck?
Well, I've had some pretty good signs. Not that I could buy a bowl of beans with yet.
Well, look, if you need a stake or anything like that, you don't be very happy.
Thank you, Ben. I can manage all right. Keeping busy's the main thing.
You sure now?
I'm sure. Well, I reckon I'll be on my way. I wanted to come by and tell you there was no hard feelings.
Well, John, I'm happy you did, and, you know, anything that you need, you just have to holler.
Well, you know, there is one thing.
Well, name it.
That prison food's nothing to shout at, but my own cooking is even worse. I could use an invite to supper some night.
Well, but tonight. Now, the cook's away, but they say I'm a pretty fair hand in the kitchen.
Shoot, I got some supplies on the mule outside. I got to get them up to the mine.
Well, tomorrow night, then, huh?
You got yourself a supper, yes?
Well, fine. We'll see you here tomorrow night.
All right.
John?
Yeah?
Good to see you again.
It's good to see you, Ben. Real good to see you.
And that was a conversation. And I got to admit to something. It took a load off my mind to see how well he'd come out of it.
Same here.
I hope he has a lot of luck with that mine of his. He could sure use some.
You know, that mining can be pretty rough when you try to go it alone.
Yes, it can. That man has so much pride, he just won't let anybody help him.
You gotta give him credit.
Yeah. Tell you something else we gotta give him. That's a supper that he'll never forget. With chicken and dumplings, the works.
Chicken and dumplings. Dad burn it, Paul. Can't you do it another day? I mean, I gotta leave in the morning. It'll take me 2 or 3 days to make all those line camps.
Well, now, Hoss, that's exactly why I sent you on that little mission. Make sure that John gets a chance at dumplings. Of course, having Joe along will just make the time fly by.
Well, you know.
That Joe. That horse. Sandy.
Good night, Mr. Cartwright.
Night, Paul. Chicken and dumplings.
I hate to make a pig of myself, but I haven't anything that tastes this good in a long time.
Well, that's what it's here for.
You sure weren't fooling when you said you could cook.
How about some more potatoes?
Well, you talked me into it. Well, I tell you, working in a mine sure gives a fella an appetite.
Why'd you ever decide to give mining a try?
Well, a fella had to sell before me. He died. I left some books on mining, so I read them. Better than staring at the wall. And when you're in a cell for a long time, you get used to working inside. Besides, a man can hit it big, you know.
You said you had some encouraging ore samples, huh?
Oh, I ain't sure, Ben. I'm working an old abandoned mine looking for a new vein. Really just kind of going on what I read in the books. I sure hope I'm right.
Well, you know, you could get an outside expert to take a look.
Yeah, no, I could, but you never know who you can trust, and if it looked good, you know, they'd be swarming all over me in an hour's time.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Ben, you used to do some mining, didn't you?
Some.
Well, look here. Couldn't you give me a fair idea of what I got myself into?
Well, I'm no expert, but I'd be happy to take a look.
Well, when could you do it?
Anytime you say.
Well, look here. There's a couple hours daylight left. How about right now?
All right, fine.
You want to go with us, Candy?
Sure. I'll saddle the horse.
Well, this could be my lucky day.
Well, there she is.
Come on. Careful of these timbers. They've been here a long time. That's right up ahead here. You know, now that we're here, I'm almost afraid to have you look.
Why?
Oh, well, I reckon it's because it means so much to me.
Well, John, if we never look, we'll never know.
You're right, Ben. You're absolutely right. Let's go. There it is.
Hoo-wee. You did all that yourself in 1 month?
Well, that shaft was already started. I just did the rest of it.
You've really done a job, John.
I'd do anything if you really want it bad enough.
Well, let's get down and take a look.
Yeah, be careful on that rope ladder. I'll get a lantern.
I don't know if John knows anything about mining, but he sure does know the meaning of the word work.
Yeah.
I hope for his sake that it hasn't been for nothing. Hey, John, you got that lantern?
Are you looking for this?
Hey, what are you doing, John? What is it, some kind of joke?
No, ain't no joke, Ben. Mistake, I pulled the ladder up. I didn't mean to. Made a mistake, but we all make mistakes, don't we?
Well, mistake or whatever, John. Come on, drop that ladder and bring the light down.
What for?
John, you did a lot of hard work. Don't you want to know if you hit it big?
Yeah, I did do a lot of work, didn't I?
Oh, get down here. Bring that light down so we can see what you got.
Well, I know what I got, Ben. I got you.
John! 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 John, are you there?
I'm here, Ben.
We came here as friends trying to help.
You and Candy come to help me, did you? I can't let you do that, Ben. You done enough for me already.
Now, John, listen to me. No!
You listen to me. When was the last time that you helped me out? Sometimes I can't remember how long ago it was. Time don't matter, does it?
John, we know how you feel.
No, you don't know how I feel. But you will. You will.
John! John! Look. Just drop that ladder down and let us out of here. We'll just forget this ever happened. We won't say a word to anyone.
Ben, will you promise me that if I let you out, you won't say anything to anybody? Now, you promise?
Yes, I promise.
How about you, Candy? Do you promise?
I promise, John.
That's funny. Now, who are you going to tell if I don't let you out of there?
John, you just can't leave us here to die.
Oh, no. You're not going to die, Candy. No, I wouldn't let that happen. No, there's food and water there. Everything a man could want. Everything you gave me.
John? John! 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 John!
It's no use. I can't get a hold anywhere.
Wanda. Don't know how long this is going to have to last us.
He said he'd give us food and water.
That's what he said. His state of mind is no telling.
How about Joe and Hoss? When they get back, we don't show up, they'll look for us. They'll find us.
Candy, could you find your way here without Postley? Now we're just gonna have to wait and hope that he comes to his senses or makes a mistake.
What do we do in the meantime? Just sit here?
Yeah. We sit. And pray.
I hope they're both here. I can't wait to get the look on their faces when they see how quick we got those line shacks checked.
Yeah, I don't mind working quick, but I sure hate to do without breakfast.
Yeah, well, maybe you get lucky. Might be some of those chicken and dumplings left.
Sounds good.
Yeah, well, you put the horses away, and I'll check on the chicken.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Pa? Hey, Pa, we're home. Pa? Hey, we're back early.
You have that chicken left?
Hey, take a look at this. Everything's still on the table from dinner last night.
Ain't like Paul to leave a mess like that.
It sure ain't. Nobody in the house either.
Well, they couldn't be too far off. Both the horses out there in the barn.
I think I'll have a look around. You check with the boys in the bunkhouse. Just doesn't make any sense. None of the hands saw them this morning. The horses are still in the barn. None of the wagons are missing.
Maybe somebody drove them into Virginia City for something. I don't know.
Look, even if you're right, they would have been back by now. Besides, what about the dinner dishes? How do you explain that?
I can't.
Evening, Joe. Oz. Sorry to come calling so late, but I want to see your Pa for a minute.
He's not here, John.
He didn't say anything to you last night about where he's going to be today, did he, John?
Well, that's why I come by. I come to apologize for not coming to dinner last night. I worked so hard at the mine all day yesterday, I just plumb forgot and fell asleep. What is it? Something wrong?
We don't know.
Nothing I can do.
No. No, thank you, John.
Well, I'll be on my way. Look, you sure you tell him that I'm sorry about last night, huh?
Yeah, we'll tell him, John.
Nice seeing you boys again.
Yeah, good night, John. I'm gonna ride in town and have a look around. Maybe we're making a big thing out of nothing. At least I hope we are. How long do you think we've been down here?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between night and day. I don't know.
How long do you think?
Oh, day and a half.
Seems more like a week or a month. How long do you think you'll keep us down here? Huh?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Forever, that's how long. You can't let us out now. We're going to spend the rest of our lives down here.
We're here, huh? Yeah. And there's nothing too much that we can do about it, seems. And he promised to bring us food and water.
He promised?
Yes, he did. He'll bring it.
But you said yourself he's sick. He doesn't know what he's doing.
He'll bring it.
Suppose he doesn't come back. Suppose he just leaves us here to die.
Well, did my friends think I'd forgot about him?
Postley, let us out of here.
Can't be done, Candy. Well, you yourself said that I've done a lot of work here. Besides, it ain't so bad, is it? You got food and water. You got each other to talk to. I never had nobody to talk to.
John, just listen for a minute now. It's not going to work. They're going to look for us when they get back, Hoss and Joe. They know that you were the last one to be with us, to see us. And they're going to find you, and it'll be all over.
Well, they don't have to find me, Ben. I found them.
What?
Yeah, I went by the ranch last night. Told them I was sorry I missed dinner the other night. They're right worried about both of you. I haven't offered to help them.
They'll find out. Somehow they'll find out.
No, I don't think they will, Candy. And I've had a long time to think about this, you know.
Now, look, John, they'll see the dishes that were left on the table. With 3 settings there. They'll see that. They'll know you're lying.
Oh, well, them dishes. Now, I took the liberty the other night of going back in the house and washing mine up and putting them away. It's a habit I got in prison. Now, why don't you both stop arguing and pleading with me all the time? Now, I did the same thing when I first went to prison, but it don't do no good at all. All it does is get you all upset. Here's some more food and water for you. I'll be back in a couple of days. Take it, Ben. Take it. Of course, it don't compare to that meal you prepared for me. But after a while, it gets to taste pretty good. Then after a while, nothing tastes like anything at all. Goodbye, fellas.
Candy. Candy, they're open. Make sure he's gone. John? You go first, your light. Easy. As quietly as you can.
You shouldn't ought to try to escape. I'm gonna have to put that on your record.
Nothing, huh?
Nobody's seen him nor heard of him. 2 weeks and nothing.
What about the reward posters?
And they're all done. Roy sent them out to every town within 200 miles. I don't know what good they're going to do. The news has been in every newspaper from Carson City to Placerville. If anybody had any information, we'd have heard by now. All we can do is wait.
Yeah.
How long do you think a man could stay alive down here? time. A lifetime. Do you ever think about dying?
Every man does, I guess.
I've thought about it a lot since we were down here. It's funny. First I was afraid. Afraid he wouldn't come back and we'd die. And I sit and I'd listen. Wait. Pray that he'd come back. Now I pray that he won't come back, so it'll be over.
As long as we're alive, there's a chance.
Chance to what? To go blind in the darkness, to go out of our minds? Why doesn't he just take that shotgun and get it over with? Just get it over with.
Can we fix something to eat?
I ain't hungry. I think I'll take a little ride into town.
What for? So you can check the telegraph office again?
Maybe something's turned up.
Oh, so we're kidding ourselves. It's been a month. The only chance we had that kidnappers were holding him for ransom, and even that's no good now. It's no use.
Dad, Bernard, I keep thinking that door's gonna open. He's just gonna be standing there like nothing ever happened.
Morning, boys. Beautiful morning. Oh, you're awful quiet this morning. I figured you'd be happy to see me. Hey, I brought a newspaper. Thought I'd read to you a little bit while you're having your breakfast. Yes, sir, you're both famous now. Yeah, you're right on the front page. Yes, sir, it says, reward offered for anybody knowing anything about you. You sure you don't want me to read it to you? Huh? Well, I'll read it to you anyway. Yeah, it says Cartwright, missing. One... Guess what it says? Is it a week? Month? Year? Come on, guess, Ben.
You're insane, Postley. You know that, don't you? You're insane, and you're trying to drive us insane. But it won't work. I feel sorry for you, John.
You're down there, and I'm up here. And you feel sorry for me. I'm free to go any place I want to.
No, you're not. You can't get away from here. You gotta keep coming back day after day, week after week. You're just as much a prisoner as we are. You'll never be free.
Well, now, what if I just go away and let you die?
No, you won't. You can't. You wouldn't have anything to live for.
You're sure of that, aren't you? You real sure?
Yes. Yes, I'm sure. You're trapped, John. And you'll never be free. Never.
Yeah. We'll see about that. We'll see about that.
It's dirt. It's only dirt.
Who's insane now, Cartwright? Who's insane now?
More water for a friend? Yes, sir. You can't let nothing happen to them. Ah, this'll do her. This'll do her.
We're out of water.
I know.
I'm sorry about the dynamite. I'm all right now. I don't know what happened to me. All of a sudden, it was there.
Forget it, I understand.
You know, if we ever get out of here, you're gonna owe me a lot of back wages.
Yeah. Yeah. John. Easy.
Horse Cartwright.
John, just take it easy.
Oh.
Here, drink some of this. It'll help that pain.
Oh.
John, you had yourself a real bad accident. You busted your legs up real good. If they'd have been hurt any worse, the doc said you'd have lost them both.
Doc, what Doc?
Doc's already been here and gone. Little Joe's taking him back to town.
Where am I?
You're at the Ponderosa, John.
Ponderosa? No, I can't be.
John, now I told you to lay still. You got two busted legs, and if you keep moving around, they ain't gonna set proper.
Hey, get out of here.
John, you ain't gotta go nowhere. Not for another 6 weeks, anyhow.
6 weeks?
That's doctor's orders. Now, you lay still. Let me go get you something to eat.
What are you thinking about?
Oh, I was just wondering how Hoss and Joe are doing.
That figures. You should be worrying about them. When I first met you all, I couldn't believe it.
Believe what?
The way you are, where you care about each other. I guess I just wasn't used to it. You know, the way I was always saying, wouldn't stay in the same spot very long. I was making out like I was getting ready to leave. I just never meant it, that's all.
Never thought you did.
I always thought I meant it when I said it. I make about as much sense as Postley.
Oh, Candy. Nobody makes much sense sometimes when you think about it. You have problems. You hope for the day when they'll be over. And when they are over, you dream up new problems to take their place.
Yeah. I guess it was that new problem that bothered me.
What new problem?
Having friends.
Morning.
Morning.
How you feeling?
Fine.
Yeah, good. You got yourself a lot of rest yesterday, that's for sure.
Yeah.
See if you can scoot back a little bit, John. Easy. There you go. Yeah, I brought you some soup in here last night and you was already asleep. Little Joe's not the best cook in the world, but try some of this anyhow. You need it.
Why are you doing all this?
All of what?
Taking care of me, feeding me. We hardly know each other, Horace. You ain't no friend of mine.
Well, my pa always said that every man was your friend until he showed you otherwise. It ain't no big thing being friendly to folks. Eat up, John. You need strength.
Horace. Sorry about your pa. I've been reading about it in the paper. I'm real sorry.
Yeah, thank you, John. By the way, that little piece of farmland Paul promised you, it's still yours if you ever change your mind. He sure wanted you to have it. Need anything, yell. Joe, Postley's gone.
I mean, he's gone. How could he get out of bed with 2 broken legs?
I don't know, but he did. John! What in tarnation got into him anyways?
Get some water. Easy. Water. You gotta help me.
John, take it easy. We're gonna help you.
I don't know why I done it.
Let's get him in the house.
No, they'll die. I never meant them to die.
John, what are you talking about? Who'll die?
Your pa. In the mine.
What mine? Where?
I'll show you.
Oh, hitch up the key.
Hurry! Hurry!
Thank God he's alive. Some water.
How's Candy?
He's all right. He's gonna make it.
Come on. Come on, let's get you out of here.
He'll make it. Here. Want some more water?
Yeah.
Take it easy. Take it easy. It's enough. It's enough.
My son feels good. How did you find this?
Postly. Postly, he told us.
Mostly. I wanted you to feel what I felt. To know the darkness and the loneliness. Happen to help me. I don't know why.
I'll be with you in a minute.
Cartwright, no!
Room 14, Sheriff. Open up! Hello, open up!
Hey, what's a man have to do to get a little sleep around here?
Hoss.
Candy. What are you doing here?
Hoss, what happened?
I don't know.
Hoss, what happened?
I don't know.
Nobody asked you in here. Get out. Get out.
I'm trying to help.
In the hall. You two.
I knew Edwards well. Just sold him 1,000 head of cattle. There's a room key, Sheriff, on the floor.
I guess it fell off the table.
right, mister. Why'd you do it?
Do what? What's going on?
I'll tell you what's going on. You're going to jail. You're going to stand trial for first-degree murder, and then you'll hang.
Terrible thing. Just terrible.
How long are we supposed to sit here? I didn't get but 2 hours sleep before that fight started. I'm going up to my room.
Sheriff Purcell said that no one was to go upstairs until he said so. I wouldn't get him annoyed if I were you.
Where do you think you're going?
Upstairs to bed.
Not till I say so.
I've already told him that.
Come on with me.
Well, Sheriff.
Yeah?
Any objection if I go over to the livery stable and bed down on some nice clean straw?
Why, no. Not if you can fight your way past my deputy outside. Well, this key works the door. What I want to know is how many others will do the same thing.
Well, just one, the master key.
Master key, where's that kept?
Kept downstairs in the desk drawer. Locked.
Was it there tonight?
Yes, I looked.
You sure? Sure enough to swear to it under oath?
You bet I will, Sheriff.
Hey,
Sheriff? Mr. Ogilvy, this is terrible. I mean, shooting a man's one thing, but a knife in the back. Big man like House Cartwright using a knife, I just can't get over it.
Body was lying here face down. This is the knife that was in his back. House Cartwright was standing there.
Rest of the room the way you found it?
Yeah, pretty much so. That table was knocked over when I busted through the door. A window locks a mouse could bust. How come these door locks are so good?
Well, when the hotel was building, a hardware drummer came by. Didn't have any money, but he had a trunk full of fine locks, and old man McGregor bought them all.
All right. All right, you can go.
What were you saying about locks?
Well, the room clerk said there's only 2 keys will open that door. The one I found here in the room, and when it was locked up downstairs. Well, looks like the clerk was right.
Yes, and I'll be interested in Cartwright's explanation of this.
This is Mr. Ogilvy, gents, the county prosecutor.
Ever see it before?
Yeah. In Edward's back.
What about you?
It's Hoss Cartwright's. The one just like it.
Did Cartwright have a knife when you searched him at the jail?
No, sir, he sure didn't.
I've got all I need, Sheriff.
When'll I see Hoss?
Well, tomorrow, the next day, maybe. Whenever Mr. Ogilvy says you can.
I need a room.
Court finds the evidence presented by the prosecutor more than sufficient to substantiate the charge. The defendant, Hoss Cartwright, is hereby bound over. The court directs Sheriff Purcell to produce said defendant in this courtroom 3 days from today to stand trial on the charge of murder in the first degree. Court's adjourned.
I'm sorry, Cartwright, but that's all I can do for you.
Hoss, there's only a hearing. It doesn't mean a thing. Nobody talks to the defendant except his lawyer and his kin. I told you that before. Prosecutor Ogilvy's ruling, it applies to the courtroom as well as the jail. Never been so glad to see anybody in my whole life.
How's Hoss?
He's not hurt or anything, but things are about as bad as they can get.
Where's the jailhouse? This way. Have you seen him?
The sheriff wouldn't let me in. He won't let anybody in except his family and that lawyer.
What lawyer?
Court appointed. He quit. What? It's good riddance. He didn't spend more than 3 minutes in the jail with Hoss. The hearing, he didn't open his mouth. I tried to get him another one. There's not a lawyer in this town who wants anything to do with the case. I'll put these with the one I took from Candy. Well, none of you need them until after the trial. You can pick them up on your way out of town.
Oh, why just us? There's other people in town wearing guns.
Because I say so. Nathan Ogilvy, county prosecutor. Salt Spring is a quiet town, Mr. Cartwright. We want to keep it that way. You Ponderosa people come equipped with explosive tempers and short fuses. We already have one murder to prove that.
Just a moment. You're the prosecutor or the judge?
As a father, Mr. Cartwright, I sympathize with you. As a prosecutor, I must tell you your son stands accused of a most heinous crime. And I'm sworn to see that he pays the full price the law exacts for that crime.
I want to see my son.
Of course. Take them in, Sheriff.
Got here as soon as we could.
We changed horses 3 times White Pond Road. You think you worked for the Pony Express?
Hoss, tell us what happened.
I wish I knew. I mean, I don't really know. You see, it all started, boy. I sold this fella Edwards 1,000 head of steers, all on a handshake deal, just a plain handshake guarantee, while you were in San Francisco. Well, I got to worrying about it, see, and Candy and me, we rode out here to check on him, and we got here, and sure enough, he'd backed out on the deal. He decided to buy from Mort Becker at $1 a head cheaper. So I went to him and tried to get him to pay me the $2,000 earnest money that he'd guaranteed me on a handshake to start the drive. He wouldn't do it. Tried to throw me out of his room, and we got into a scuffle. And sometime during the scuffle, he or somebody hit me over the head, and I don't remember what happened after that. Dad, blame it, I just don't know.
Mr. Van Buren regrets that it's impossible to take another case at this particular time.
Doing about as good as you did. 3 tries and 3 turndowns.
I didn't get the pretty speech. Just plain no.
Candy, did you say there were 4 lawyers in Salt Spring?
Oh, more like 3 and a drunk named Barney Sturgis.
Burgess? Wait a minute now. There's a great trial lawyer in Sacramento some years ago by that name. I wonder if it's the same one. Where's his office?
Around the corner, up the stairs.
Door's open. Come in.
Mr. Sturgis?
Yeah?
My name is Ben Cartwright.
How do you do?
My son, Joseph.
How do you do?
Mr. Sturgis.
And, this is,
Yeah,
Ken.
I've been seeing you around on the street.
How do you do?
Sorry this place is so cluttered. Yeah. I'm not much of a housekeeper. Yeah, there you are. Oh. Yeah. Hello. A little friend of mine. Good soldier. I was with him when he died.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Sit down. Come on, sit down.
You're Ben Cartwright. Your son Haas is in jail. He's in big trouble.
Mr. Sturgis, my son is charged with murder. Now, there's no doubt...
Wait a minute. I'm going to show this young man I'm not as far gone as he thinks. I value my privacy. And I sit in saloons alone. But I listen. I hear what's going on. You're trying to hire a lawyer. But they're all too busy. The truth is, nobody wants to buck Nate Ogleby. It ain't smart. Not if you want to make a living in the law business in this town.
Is that how you feel about it?
Oh, it doesn't make any difference how I feel. I'm not fool enough to think I could defend a murder charge. And sure, you're not fool enough to want to hire me. But even if you had a good lawyer, it wouldn't help much. What you need is a miracle.
A miracle or not, my brother didn't do it.
Your opinion. Unfortunately, the good people of Salt Springs have already tried and convicted him.
Mr. Sturgis, we need legal help. And you're the only man available. Now, at least you could get a postponement.
Won't do you any good.
Well, even a clerk could get a postponement.
All right, find a clerk. Leave me alone.
You used to have a reputation as a fighter. I remember you in a murder case. Any case would be a challenge.
Before this, now nobody would trust me to witness a signature, let alone go into a court. And I like it that way.
Mr. Sturgis, my son needs your help. And you're going to have to help him.
I could never make it. No, go away. Leave me alone.
You'll make it. We'll see to it that you'll make it. We'll walk you around until you're stone sober, and you'll walk into that courtroom and you'll get that postponement.
You don't know what you're asking.
Yes, I do. There's got to be a shred of guts left in you. We need your help.
All right. I'll try. What was the fight about?
I've told you 3 times already, Mr. Sturgis.
Yeah, but I didn't hear you. Wait, you did tell me something about money, but I want to hear it again. Now, you and Candy rode in. Then, Candy took the horses to the livery stable, and you went into the hotel.
That's right. I went in the hotel. I went straight to the clerk. I was just about to register when he told me that Mr. Edwards was up in room 14. So I went right on up there.
You mad at him? You hunting for trouble?
I told you already, Mr. Sturgis. Mr. Edwards owed me $2,000 earnest money that he was supposed to pay when we went on the trail with the cattle. He didn't show.
You went on up to 14.
That's right. I got up there and the door was open. He was in there having a drink with Mort Becker. I went in, I told Mr. Edwards I wanted the $2,000 and I wanted a contract for the rest of the money to be paid when we delivered the cattle. And he told me the deal was off.
Is that why you killed Becker?
I didn't kill him, confound it.
How long are you gonna let this drunk keep it up?
Well, he's doing better than he was. What are we going to do? Is the only lawyer we can get?
Some lawyer has trouble remembering what he just heard.
And now he finds his way to the courthouse.
Well, there are times when he can't. You know, most times I feel sorry for people who hire old Bottle Barney. This time it don't make no difference. In over 20 years of law work, I never seen a more open and shut case.
What made Becker mad?
Well, I told Mr. Edwards that Becker didn't have 1,000 head of cattle. Didn't even have 500 unless they were stolen.
How'd you know that?
Well, less than a week ago, he was bumming meal money around Virginia City.
Hey, you know, it's a good thing Ogilvy didn't hear you say that. How could Edwards give you $2,000 if he was broke?
Dad, Barney, it wasn't Edwards that was broke, it was Becker.
Oh, I didn't hear it right. Yes, Becker. It was Becker who left room 14. Hmm?
That's right.
You tell me how much money Edwards had in his pocket.
Be glad to, Mr. Cartwright. He had $104 and a gold watch. So if you're thinking of robbery, forget it.
He came at me with a chair. He missed, hit a table, and I took it away from him, or what was left of it. About that time, I remembered this shadow coming over my shoulder, and somebody hit me over the head. The next thing I knew, I woke up and I was looking at Candy and the sheriff.
Hit you on the head. Let me see.
Well, it was the day before yesterday. It's already gone.
Yeah. And it was your knife that they found in there.
Yeah.
And you haven't any idea how it got into Edwards' back.
I told you I didn't know.
All right, Barney. That'll be enough. Let's go.
No, Pa. He was a little mixed up at first, but he's doing all right now. Somebody's going to have to ask him questions anyhow.
I'll see you in court. I'll be able to get to my office before I fall down. Tomorrow, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to walk into the courthouse. I'll get your postponement. I sure hate to have to take it all the way through. I'm not saying he's guilty. I don't think he did it. Why, that moose could have slapped that Edwards right through the wall. He's not one to use a knife.
Of course he's not.
And that makes 4 of us. But that jury would find him guilty without leaving the box. Well, I got to get to my office. See, before I go for that postponement, I got some reading to do.
I'll walk along with you.
Oh, don't bother.
No bother at all.
There's nothing up there but a lot of old law books and dust. On the corner there's a saloon. You can get a beer. I'll meet you there as soon as I track down those precedents that I'm looking for. We gotta nail this down tight. That old Judge Simpson is he's a mean old goat.
All right, see you in a little while.
put it down.
I said, put it down! I just want a little nip to nail me back together again.
Oh, you're gonna drink. You're gonna drink, all right, black coffee. I'm gonna fill you full of it while you do that bookwork. And then after that, we're gonna walk again.
I've done all the walking I'm gonna do.
No, you're gonna walk. We're gonna go to the hotel so we can keep an eye on you, because when you walk in that courtroom tomorrow, you're gonna be the soberest man in Salt Springs.
Why don't you go away and leave me alone? I don't want this job.
Look, we don't want you either, but we're stuck with you. Now, after you get that postponement tomorrow, you can do anything you want, but until then, you're gonna do what I say.
I don't like delays, Mr. Sturgis. We've never had to call in outside help to solve our legal problems before. And since the defendant has a lawyer, I see no reason to start now. Motion to postpone denied.
If the court please, we haven't had time to prepare an adequate defense.
I'll give you time. It's 10 o'clock now. This court...
We would get laughed out of court. Courthouse bell. Court will convene in 5 minutes. Yeah, haven't been able to do that in years. Now if I get my head to working, maybe we'll give Mr. Nathan Ogilvy a fight that'll be worth the trouble.
Bonnie, you gotta win this one. It's my son's life.
Sheriff, will you describe to the court what you first saw when you stepped into room 14?
Well, the room was a mess. It'd been all broken up. There was a body lying there beside the bed.
And who was that?
It was Mr. Edwards. Been stabbed. The knife was still in his back.
Where was the defendant?
Oh, he was standing at the foot of the bed, about 4 feet from the body.
Have you seen this knife before?
I sure have. It was sticking in the body.
If the court please. To save the court time, the defense stipulates that the knife is the murder weapon and the property of Hoss Cartwright.
Your witness.
You say Hoss Cartwright was standing at the foot of the bed. Where were his hands?
The end of his arms, where they are now.
Was the defendant standing unsupported, or was he hanging on to the foot of the bed?
He was holding on to the foot of the bed.
Yeah. Were there any marks or bruises on him?
Not that I see.
A man is in a terrible fight that we've been hearing about, and yet there are no cuts or bruises. Isn't that remarkable, Sheriff?
Well, maybe his knuckles were swole up a little bit. He's a big man. Big hands like that, it's hard to tell.
Did you examine the defendant for cuts or bruises?
I sure did, in jail, in the same cell I usually put you when you're too drunk to get home.
That's enough, Mr. Purcell. You'll testify properly, or you'll be occupying that cell for 60 days yourself for contempt. This is not a saloon or a theater. It's a court of law. Any more levity, and I'll clear the room. Proceed, Mr. Sturgis.
If the court please. I have no objection to the sheriff telling the truth. I know the cell in question well, and I'm sure the voters are all impressed by the zeal with which the sheriff does his job.
Begin to sound like the old Barney Sturgis of Sacramento.
When you examined the defendant, what did you find?
Not a mark, not a scratch.
Will any key other than these two unlock the door of room 14?
No, sir.
Is a key necessary to lock the door from the inside?
Yes, it is, from either side.
This one was found inside the room. Where was this one?
Well, that one was locked in the drawer of the desk in the lobby. Nobody was near that desk but me. I was downstairs all the time the fight was going on.
Your witness.
We've heard a lot about the fine locks in your hotel. What happens if one of your guests wanders off with a key?
I send the handyman after him.
And suppose he manages to elude that handyman?
Well, that hasn't happened except once in 10 years, and we just replaced the lock. We have a dozen or so left in the basement.
You heard Mr. Edwards shout, "Cartwright, no!" How would you describe that shout?
Scared. Made chills run up my spine. That's why I got up and dressed.
Thank you. Mr. Sturgis, your witness.
Remember, I told you about this fella. Just a few days ago, he was in Virginia City bumming mules, and he's a thief.
Thanks. That may be the very club I need. You were doing business with Mr. Edwards, Miss Becker?
I sold him 1,000 head of cattle.
So that when he was killed, you lost not only a friend, but the sale of a herd.
That's right.
How many head of cattle do you own, Mr. Becker?
Well, I sold 1,000 head.
I didn't ask you how many you sold. How many cattle do you own? How many steers wear your brand?
I don't have a ranch. I'm a dealer. I buy and sell.
We know what you sold. Where do you buy?
Small ranches, where I can make a profitable deal.
Small ranches. Would you name a few?
Spread up Cold Creek. Brand slips my mind. Another one over...
You don't remember, huh? Is that because you deal in stolen cattle, Mr. Becker? Or because you were here to promote some earnest money for a fast trip to another state?
Your Honor, I object. The witness is not on trial here. The defendant is.
Order. Silence in the court.
wish I could have gone further with Becca.
You got under the prosecutor's skin pretty good.
Well, at least the jury heard that much. Yeah, but will they remember? That's the question. I'm missing something. Keeps nibbling at the back of my mind and then sliding away. I know my bones were in the right area, but... Oh, no. When is that Charlie Haskell coming to take over this case?
He'll be along as soon as he can get here, but you're doing real good. You're doing a real good job. Now, you got to keep on fighting.
Yeah, well, there must be an answer somewhere.
You get a good night's rest. I'll see you in the morning, huh?
Oh.
Here's your key. Huh. Good night, Barney.
What is it? Who is it? Huh? Ben Conrad, wake up! Come in here!
Were you knocking on the wall? I thought I heard you calling.
Yes, I was knocking. Look, presents from an unknown admirer. Or an elf, or a banshee. There's a knock on the door. Nobody there. Just that bottle at the foot of the door. The rest of it's in that glass there. Got sloshed out when I pounded on the wall for you. Now, if you're not going to put that out of my sight, at least put it where I can't reach it. Or they want to start grabbing for it. You know, somebody wants me drunk. Falling down drunk. So I make a jackass out of myself tomorrow in court. And that somebody's beginning to sweat.
Would you do something for me?
Well, might as well. I'm on your payroll.
Go down to the lobby. And stay there for count 50. Then come back.
Yeah.
No, you won't have time. I want you to go right now. No, never mind the boots. Just go. Quickly.
Okay.
What'd you hear?
Nothing.
You were down the lobby.
No. Nothing. Just the people in the lobby.
You didn't hear me shouting?
No.
While you were down the lobby, I was shouting. Here. Cartwright, no! Cartwright, no! You didn't hear that.
Not a word.
What does that mean to you?
Oh, it means this place must be solid as a blockhouse.
And it also means that it couldn't have been Edwards who shouted Cartwright, no. Because whoever did that shouting couldn't have been inside room 14. They'd never have heard him. He had to be out in the hall and then disappear. That's right. And Mr. Becker's room is just down the hall, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Take him just about as much time to shout and go back to his room as it did to put a bottle at the foot of the door and disappear.
Now, maybe we know the who.
But we still have the problem of why. It's pretty hard to prove robbery when the deceased has over $100 and a gold watch on him. And we still haven't got Becker inside behind that locked door.
Wait a minute. I think I may be able to help you establish that robbery motive. If the telegraph office is still open, I'll be able to do it tonight.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Now, that glimmering in the back of my mind is beginning to take shape and substance. I think I may be able to put Becker inside room 14. Hey, don't forget this.
Court's in session. Mr. Ogilvy.
Your Honor, I have other witnesses I could call. However, I feel strongly that the evidence already heard proves beyond any shadow of a doubt that the defendant, Hoss Cartwright, did knife and kill Warren Edwards. The prosecution rests.
Mr. Sturgis, you may proceed with the defense.
You know me, Bottle Barney, the man the sheriff puts in the jail when he's too drunk to walk home. And knowing me, you kind of have to feel sorry for anybody who had me as a lawyer. If the case was anything much. No, Mr. Ogilvy has been waiting for me to make a howling idiot out of myself. But I don't think I'm going to oblige him. Not today. He's been having a fine time building a scaffold for my client. Why, enough to scare a man silly if he couldn't see that it was built of cobwebs. Now, what happened was a man walked into room 14 in the middle of a fight, hit Hoss Cartwright over the head, killed and robbed Warren Edwards, and went. Now, Mr. Ogilvy has 100 facts to prove that it couldn't happen. But I know better. Any man who's been a bottle fighter for all the years that I have can't be very smart. But I was able to figure it out. So the rest of you must have been able to figure it out, too. Now, in case that there's one or two of you has some doubts, I'm going to ask His Honor to allow us to adjourn to room 14 and show you how it was done.
Objection. Your Honor, how long is the court going to allow this old charlatan to continue this nonsense?
What's the matter with you, Mr. Counselor? You afraid I'm right?
I know you're wrong.
Then why the objection?
Fair question, Mr. Ogilvy. It's so fair that I'm going to indulge Mr. Sturgis in his request. Court will reconvene in room 14 of the Salt Spring Hotel.
Your Honor, if you will come over here, and Mr. Ogilvy, Right here. Yeah. That's comfortable? Fine. Mr. Becker, you were the first one in, so will you come in here, please? We need a corpse, and you're just about the right size, and you know how the body was, so if you would lie down on the floor there, as the body was, it'd be very helpful. That's fine. Now, Sheriff, if you'll bring in the defendant, put him where you found him. Now, if you would give me the key, please. Thank you. Oh, the table was turned over. And I don't think we need to bother with the broken chairs. Is everything the way it was when you found it, Mr. Ogilvy?
Yes, Counselor. Now, can we get this silly game over and go back to court?
Very quickly, Mr. Ogilvy. Now, Sheriff, if you'll come with me out in the hall. Now then, if you'll simulate breaking in the door.
The key's out here.
Yes, I know the key's out here, but you go on. Break in. Come on. Since Mr. Becker has agreed to be the corpse, I'll go through the motions that Mr. Becker made. So you two gentlemen do now exactly as you did then.
I went over to look at the body.
Becker, straighten up the table.
Oh, then I ordered Candy and Becker out of the room.
Exactly as it happened then. How did Becker say it? There's the room key, Sheriff, on the floor.
Out of me.
No, sir. I really found that key on the floor. That walking whiskey fat's tricking you, Sheriff. He's trying to get me into trouble so he can get that horse cut right out.
Your Honor, I have a telegraph here addressed to Ben Cartwright from Edwards' partner. It was delivered before court opened this morning. As you see, it states that Mr. Edwards was carrying $10,000 in cash. Now, since Mr. Edwards never paid Mr. Becker for that hypothetical 1,000 head of cattle, that money should still have been in Mr. Edwards' possession, along with that $104 in gold watch, but it was not. So if the money is not on Mr. Becker, I recommend that you search his room and baggage.
Thank you, Mr. Sturgis. Sheriff, I want this man jailed immediately. Court will reconvene in the courtroom in 5 minutes. Mr. Cartwright, all charges against you are herewith dismissed. And the court tenders an apology for the people and the prosecution.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Sturgis, it appears I misjudged you. If you can learn some courtroom manners, you just might turn out to be a fine trial lawyer. Court's adjourned.
Congratulations, Barney.
Congratulations. Barney, you did it.
Not without your help. I'm afraid your attorney Haskell from Virginia City is going to have a long ride for nothing.
Well, I'll guarantee he won't mind a bit, Barney.
Don't you worry about Haskell now. He's going to be awfully happy to find out how you made out.
Mr. Sturgis, I'd like to buy you the biggest drink in town.
Oh, that'll be fine. But you better make it black coffee. I've developed a taste for it.
I'll take that drink. Okay.